Hey kids, welcome to another episode of Glen's Drum Emporium. Yes, we're back at the workbench, always at the workbench, working on drums and fixing stuff. Well, today I picked up, kind of came in the mail very recently. I picked up another Camco bass drum pedal, double cheater beater, whatever you want to call it, double bass pedal. This is my third one. I use one live, love it. I have a second one as a backup one in storage, and I picked up one that was broken, dirt cheap, but this thing is near mint. I don't know how this thing broke. I've never seen it before, but I fixed it last night. I'm going to just use it on my kits in the basement. But the fix it, I've tried asking around for some options on how to fix it. It was all no, 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 and no. So I said, okay, well, I'll fix it myself. And I did, and it works fantastic. I'm going to show you what we got here. This is the Camco bass drum pedal. A little history. Camco at one time was its own drum company. Was around in the 50s and 60s. Like many companies that started to struggle there, going into there was so much competition for one thing. This company was sold half of the product and dies for the drum part, and the lugs were sold to Drum Workshop, DW, and Tama bought the pedal design. I have been using Camco pedals for pretty much most of my drumming life. At least 30 plus years. I've used the single pedals, of which we have one here. For that length of time. It took me a while to get one of the double bass ones. But now I have 3 of these. These single pedals, I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have 8 of these. This one being a late addition. It's not clean yet. I use this on my electronic kit, so this one needs a little love and some polishing. This is not the original beater. These are the original beaters. So this pedal, hardly used with the original beaters. Fantastic. Now the only issue I have is compared to my other 2 pedals, this does not look original. This looks smaller. I'm not sure. I have to give it a look-see on my second one in storage, but yeah, I'm not sure. But the main guts here, the main split axle pedal part is here. Tighten that up. Anybody who knows me knows I play flat foot, and these springs are normally really tight. I like them really tight. So here's the scoop. While this pedal looks beautiful and mint, the slave unit, unfortunately, was broken half. I kid you not. I'll try and show you this while holding the camera. So this was split right through here. So these were in 2 halves. I don't know how that happened, especially being clamped to this. This is the actual factory plate. So I got the pedal dirt cheap, like $100. I mean, this part here, just in a single, is worth $100. So I've got the split axle, got the bar nut. So I had to figure out a way to fix that, because I mean, I could have sacrificed one of my singles for the tower, changed it over. That would have been no problem. I take these apart and maintain them all the time. But I'm going, I want to use this. If it's just going to be for the basement, I've got this plate, has to be away. So this is what I did. I went around to different welding companies and machine shops and asked them, can they weld this? I'm a welder myself, but this is specialized metal. It's not normal steel. And every single one of the machine shops and welding outfits said the metal is too thin. As soon as we touch it, it will blow apart. I understood that going in, but I had to try. So I said, okay. And it clamps to a welded bar here. So it mimics the bass drum hoop. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to figure something out. So what I ended up doing, underneath this, I'll show you on the single pedal. So all these corrugated supports to help give it strength, which is ironic since that one broke with all this. So I figure it was probably dropped by accident or whatever. So what I ended up doing was drilling holes in 4 sections. 4 sections of the base. 2 on this side, or I should say 2 holes on this side and 2 holes on this side. So each side of the crack I drilled 2 holes. There's a crack there. And what I ended up doing was tapped it, drilled all the way through, drilled through this metal plate, had it stationary, and drilled through it. Actually, before I did that, to keep these 2 pieces, I took it all apart and just took heavy-duty industrial glue and glued these 2 pieces together. So while I had them glued and I could figure out position and where I wanted this for the best layout to drill the holes, it was glued tight and wouldn't break apart. And that glue actually still held through even all the drilling and putting screws in and tightening. It's still holding. But I wanted even more security. So that's what I did. So I drilled holes in it. I countersunk the holes underneath, so the heads of the screws are kind of flush with the base, and put locking nuts up on top and on the front. Then tighten this down. It is so solid. It's more solid than it actually needed to be, but it's fantastic. So I may put a T-bar right here, because 2 of my other ones have T-bar right here. And there's a screw here, and you tighten it down and it holds the frame of the pedal, or not the frame, but the heel bracket. Just trying to connect this back in here. So, but it's pretty secure. So I would like to have this fastened, but I don't think it's actually going to move around too much. Like in my test drives, it was totally fine. So that's the scoop. This pedal now works fantastic. I put it through the test, man. It does not move. It's totally solid. Works as it should. So I just got to fine tune some of the springs. Get a little more tension on it. And like I say, it's pretty mint. I was shocked. It's like this guy either was broke earlier on and he's got frustrated with it being broken and just stuck it in the box, but it is like there's no dirt, grease, nothing. The only thing is, I don't think this is original because my original ones have wire boots that go over this, and there's a groove here and here for these rubber boots. They're almost like the transaxle on a front-wheel drive car. The boots are got a locking wire that go into the groove and hold that boot in place, and you can put grease in them. This has nothing for that. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but so I'm going to dig out the my other pedals in my flight case, and my other one's in storage. So, but I'll have a look-see. But this does not look original, unless in later years they change the design. But we'll see. It functions as it should. So we know this is Camco. We know this is Camco. So, yeah, and the beauty of it is most of these Camcos were put with an extender axle on this, or yeah, I guess we'll call it an axle. So this can connect to it. So you can use it as a single or run it with this as a slave for the double pedal. Now the early Tama pedals, which I have a few, do not have that extension. So if you're looking at the first or second year of this pedal, they don't have that extension, so you can't do this. But after that, I think they went nuts, and that axle is universal. You'll find it on most Camco pedals. So you can use it as a slave. This chrome piece, I've seen tons of the pedals for sale without this, but I love having this. It's got spurs on it right here, and it's got like a really grippy sandpaper type pad underneath, so it works great. Mine doesn't even have that. My other ones don't even have that, so this one's great for that. So that's the scoop. The only flaws with these pedals I've ever experienced is the axle in here wears out, and you get way too much play here, and when you do that, it starts to gnaw on the teeth. So there is a little bit of give, like all of them, even brand new. There's a little bit of give, but as they get older, and like most bass drum pedals, I've seen Pearl pedals and DW 3 and 4 and 5000 pedals do the same damn thing. You either have to put a bigger axle in there or just get bigger bearings. They're brass or plastic nylon bearings, so and that's the way. Don't let them get too bad, because when they wear thin, then you'll be screwed. You'll have to get a new footboard. So there we go, kids. Another wonderful Camco pedal in my collection. I love these pedals. I think they're the best pedal ever built. I still use them to this day. I do have other ones in my collection. I have the DW stuff that mimics this. I have all that stuff, but this one, best pedal, in my opinion. Thanks for watching.